Hey guys, Asher Ray Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Send us some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Today we're going to talk about artifacts, right? How to make millions of silver and most importantly, clear up some space because Plarium, if you're watching, which I know you are, please forget every rant I've ever given about this game.
All right, I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
But for us vets out there who've been playing for, I don't know, how long do you fill your artifact and accessory storage, would you say? Maybe about a year? Less than that? More than that? I don't know. It's been too long. I'm out of touch. But I know that I've been just, with all these new pinpoint and all these 9 pieces, oh, it's been crazy. Have you been the same way? Especially vets out there have been playing for a while. I feel like we desperately need, more acutely than ever, more artifact and accessory storage, like big time. I especially feel it in accessories, but truthfully, both would be amazing. Anyway, in today's video, I want to give you some quick tips how to really cleanse your account. Not just cleanse, but really just level up everything that you're able to do. Now, recently I had Cruisin on the channel who, you know, off air, he gave me a bunch of tips about arena and stuff like that. This is not an arena or a PvP video, but he said my biggest problem on the account was just not consolidating my good gear enough on specific champions that I use the most. But he said that my gear is a lot better than I give it credit for, but he also made a comment that I need to, like, again, this is off air,
of course it is.
but I need to kind of look at the quality of gear and artifacts that I have kind of lying around a little bit more. And he would recommend me kind of up the threshold of what I do keep and don't keep in terms of my artifacts and accessories, which I already thought that I had a pretty high bar. But today I'm going to give you all my best tips on really how to, I guess, I don't know, relaunch your artifact journey. Is that too convoluted? Either way, that's what we're gonna do. So the first things first, guys, artifact enhancement events. The first tip that I give you guys should be done during an artifact enhancement event, so you can double dip. Usually, a lot of times they're attached to a fusion or a fragment summon. You guys know this, or a special event in the game. But at the very least, just get the extra rewards, right? Because you're going to be upgrading a lot of artifacts. And that brings me to my first point. You know, this might be a bad analogy, but I'm going to go with it anyway. But think of an artifact. Energy is your currency. You're spending your energy in a dungeon and to get artifacts, right? So you get these artifacts or accessories, and it's an empty it's a mystery box. You don't know what's inside an artifact or accessory. You have clues, you have the main stat, you might have some of the substats as well. You do have some of the substats, you might have all 4, but you don't know where those roles are gonna go, of course. We all know that. So just like you're gonna buy a stock in a company, you're not gonna put it in a mystery box, AKA never look at it for 2 years, and then make a decision in 2 years, especially if you have a limited quantity, limited resources to buy these stocks or these artifacts, right? That's our artifact storage, by the way, 1,500 artifacts. That's all we have, right? So we're taking up space on something that we don't know is trash or good. If it's trash, it's like a crappy stock, we can sell it back and recoup some of our cost and free up more of our inventory, right? I say all that to say, and again, I don't know if the analogy was very good, the stocks, but you guys get the point. You shouldn't have any unleveled artifacts or accessories on your entire account. You should start leveling everything up to level 12 or level 8 if you're short on silver, but you're gonna recoup that cost anyway. You should do the due diligence and level up everything that you have. I used to be kind of on the fence on this, especially early on, by the way. Early on, you just want to collect artifacts. You can have a lower kind of threshold of what you find an acceptable accessory or artifact if you're a new player, because you have the entire storage to fill up, and then you can start whittling it down. But for vets out there, there's no reason you should have anything just sitting there unleveled. So the first thing that you want to do is go level up your artifacts to level 8 or level 12 during an artifact enhancement event, right? See what you've got, and then make the decision based on where your account is to trash that artifact. You're gonna make, you know, at least recoup a lot of your cost if you're going to level 8. If you're going to level 12, you're probably gonna lose some cost, but you're probably gonna identify some awesome artifacts, because I'm burying the lead here. The best part is forget the trash ones that we're gonna sell back, forget the inventory space, but then we can go to Hell Hades Optimizer, or we can just do it by eye if you're not using the optimizer. And we now have access to all this better gear that can help our best builds and our best champions and our best presets be even better, right? You're probably sitting on a bunch of really, really amazing pieces that will make a significant impact on your account if you don't level up your artifacts and your accessories. Okay, so there we go. And when I say exploratory, here, I have one unleveled right now for you guys. That just means going to level 8, see where the rolls go, right? Speed, accuracy, sign me up. Let's take it to 12. You can kind of do it you don't have to do it all at once, right? You don't go all the way to 16. Although I like to do it for thrills once in a while, if it's a really killer artifact. That's how I get my thrills. That's how pathetic my life is. For thrills, I like to instant level all the way to 16, yeah! Anyway, so Zeal is a very unique set. Of course, the second tip, obviously, is you want to weigh in the sets, right? We've talked about this before, so I'll be, brief here. But man, these 9-piece sets are where it's at. Pinpoint changed the game. Well, Pinpoint maybe didn't change the game, but, Stone Skin, the first 9-piece set, and Protection, it changed the game. Pinpoint is where you should be spending most of your accessory farming time, right? Outside of spider dungeon events, you should be spending the majority of your time in the event dungeon because Pinpoint is that good. Getting an accessories 20% extra accuracy, or 20 extra accuracy, and 10% extra speed is so unbelievably huge. Listen, it's a long slog, right? I mean, this is the Pinpoint gear that I have unequipped right now. These are all good pieces, but I had to trash a bunch of crappy pieces. And I spent tens of thousands of energy in the event dungeon because you really want to get your hands, especially on the accessories of Pinpoint. What I'm trying to say here, guys, is when we talk about accessories, you're going to have to make a lot of room. You can see I'm breaking my own rule here on some of these newer banners to the account, but I still want to go in here and I want to do some exploratory research and see what I have, right? But you guys, again, like attack with attack percentage. Maybe if I get a speed, I'll keep it, but probably not. Oh, of course I get a speed. I'm going to take it all the way to 16. Take it all the way to 16. And of course I get defense. Honestly, I'll let Ascension, I'll send to 2 levels as well, get HP. That's really borderline, probably trashy for my account, but I can use it on a food champion, which I will go ahead and do right away. So I'm not taking up valuable storage after I record this video. Anyway, when I say a food champion, I just mean like an epic that I use for Faction Wars only or something like that, not really food. Anyway, I digress. You need to be shifting your accessory strategy to really prioritizing and I did a big event dungeon run last night, so I have not rolled all these up yet, but we want to be prioritizing our Pinpoint and our 9 pieces, right? Use all your chaos or save all your chaos. It's hard to get, I get it, it's super rare, super scarce, but save it all and use it on your 9-piece sets, right? Anything that, like, what you're gonna have to do, I think what I had to do is you're gonna have to be comfortable going in there and getting rid of a bunch of, depending on where your account is, epic or even legendary pieces that are old school accessories and artifacts, because the meta is shifting in a big way to these 9 pieces. So especially if you're at capacity, if you're a vet out there, be prepared to do that. Okay, so some simple strategies, what you should all do really on your account as you progress. And every account's going to be different, so it's hard. I'm going to try to keep the advice very general and not specific just to my account, or at least point out alternative ways to go about this. So the first thing you want to do is basically go all the way down on the left-hand side. I'm blocking it right now, but you can see hide set filters. That's gonna, hide set filters. And that's gonna allow us to see all the artifacts on our entire account that are not equipped right now, right? So I've shared this in a previous video, but a good way to cleanse, because sometimes like, okay, I have thousands of artifacts. How do I find the crappy ones? Like, what's an easy way to do this? What's an efficient way to do this? Because everything takes time. Time, one of our most important and valuable currencies, especially in life, it is the most important. So how are we going to manage it, right? So what you can do is, first of all, you can identify pieces that you have not leveled up and level them up, right? I have clearly a lot of work to do on my account. But the second thing you can do is just go priority stat, speed. Speed is the most important stat in Raid Shadow Legends. Very few exceptions of champions that you would not want to have speed substats on their gear, like a UDK. Very few. So I've said this before, but I'll say it again. First thing you can do is go in here and identify every single artifact that doesn't have speed substats. Let me move myself. Actually, I'll just show you. And I'm not saying you have to trash everything, right? You'll be trashing probably a lot of it if you've never done it before. but just have a reason as to why you're keeping all of these leveled up already artifacts. You should not have any artifacts that are not leveled that also do not have speed as a substat as a very easy starting point, right? Because you're just going to trash them, with few exceptions. Why do I have attack percentage boots with attack percentage ascension with a triple crit rate roll in a Savage set? Well, it's pretty obvious. They're actually not bad boots for a nuker. They're lacking speed, but there's a reason why I have them on my account. I can picture actually using these boots on a champion, so I don't have to trash them. So I'm not going to go through every single piece of gear that has no speed, but you should have at least a reason why you have gear without speed on it. Again, HP percentage with defense percentage ascension, and you can use ascension as kind of a tool at your disposal to give you more information. You know, you do have chaos dust as well. Chaos dust I usually try to save for the 9 pieces. But you know, okay, HP with defense, but again, a trip or quad roll, because it's mythical, of crit rate. Well, I know why I'm keeping that one as well. You know, that could be good for a nuker. Again, lacking speed, but I can probably get around that with the rest of the artifacts. So again, this is the first thing that you guys can do to your account, and make sure you're weeding out all your unnecessary artifacts that don't have speed substats, right? Another thing that you can do too is just go to the top artifacts and kind of start here, because it's always basic with the weapon, the helmet, and the shield, right? I can go in here and I can go all the way to the bottom, and then, I mean, this gear, there's got to be a good reason for everything. And again, this is lethal with a double crit rate roll. This is honestly kind of borderline at this point on my account, right? A lot of accounts probably keep it. I'm probably going to trash it because a double crit rate with no speed on a 5-star shield, not anymore. Maybe in the days before the 9 pieces, I would keep that, but now it's going to be trashed, right? Because because all these freaking amazing artifacts and accessories, we have to make these tough decisions until Plarium actually gives us more storage space, right? All right, what's the next thing that we should do, right? We really have to think about, we have to make tough decisions, right? We have to get rid of artifacts and accessories that, you know, maybe 5 months ago, 6 months ago, we would have kept. And you have to always do this on your account. It's evolving all the time. But to be efficient, you have to also evolve the lower end of what's acceptable to even keep on your account, right? So the next thing you can do is go in, the beautiful thing is you can do this all in game really easily, right? So I'm gonna get rid of my speed substat, and I'm just gonna go to my my rarity, right? So rank and rarity right above my head, sorry. I should have moved myself to the other side for this video, huh? Depending on where your account is, every account's gonna be different here. But for my account, I've recently made the decision that I'm no longer keeping any epic accessories unless they're a 9-piece that's really good, right? So it has to be legendary or better. Honestly, now I'm thinking mythical or better on accessories on my account unless it's in a 9-piece set, right? Because I'm just running out of storage, right? I saw some endgame accounts that everything has to be mythical for them to keep anything, like end game top whale pay to win, right? Like yours truly, but even worse, right? By the way, look at all this mythical gear I have lying around, huh? Not bad.
Can I have your autograph, please?
Anyway, I digress. What you want to do is make that decision for yourself. Always try to push yourself to be a little bit uncomfortable. Another thing I should say really quickly here is you'll notice a lot of your trashiest artifacts and accessories, if you're anything like me, will actually be artifacts and accessories that you've already done previously. It could be years ago, exploratory leveling. In other words, it could be a level 12 artifact, just like this one, perfect, right? Level 12 artifact that I already leveled up, obviously to level 12, but it's just sitting there clogging up my inventory. Like, what am I gonna do with this? I'm not gonna do anything with it. Again, this might be acceptable for some accounts. It's from a protection set, but double roll HP with some resist with no speed, you know, I'm not going to use it at this point in my account. So make sure you look over and review all the artifacts and accessories that maybe years ago or months ago you already leveled up to level 8 or 12. Odds are there's going to be a lot of trashy artifacts that you think, what was I thinking when you look at them, keeping that artifact, right? That's why, psychologically, we always want to be pushing ourselves to make the tough decisions and err on the side of trashing, as long as you know what you're doing and what you're looking for, right? And by the way, for new players out there, I have a pretty robust and actually a guide that I'm pretty proud of for new players, how to manage everything about gearing. So I'll link that in the description below of today's video. All right, so what you want to do is go to like rare, right? Now, this is a good starting place for a lot of mid to end game accounts. You got to graduate from your rare gear. Does that mean you throw away every piece or sell every piece of rare gear that you have on your account? Certainly not. There might be a piece like this. This is rare, but I have a double crit rate roll and a lethal set with some speed. I've already invested glyphs in this piece. You know, it could have been a year ago, but I did. So I can picture myself still using this. So similar to the speed conversation, of course, if there's gear that you've already invested a lot in, here's another one. Speed set, double speed roll, and I've already invested clearly a 5 or 6 star glyph in this piece as well. I'm not going to trash it. But any unleveled rare gear, on my account at least, no matter how good it is, this is a merciless piece, by the way. This is the tough decision I was talking about, right? For me and my account, a lot of accounts would keep this, right? This, I mean, like crit rate and speed, that's exactly what I want to see. And they're both 6/6, you know, which is solid. I mean, I'll take it to 8 and there might be 2 crit rate. Like this is not a bad helmet here, right? Let's take it to 12. Let's do more research. We get attack, flat stat, but probably the stat that we're going to be looking for in Merciless. The fact that we get a double crit rate roll on a rare piece is not that bad. We get defense there, but again, and I know this is crazy on some account, on my other account, like I would kill for a piece of gear like this. But right now, simply a double roll on crit rate with no speed and no attack percentage or anything like that, it's not going to be worth keeping. Same thing, whatever this helmet is, I'm trashing it, right? Rare gear, you have to graduate. And again, it might be different for every account, but you have to go in there, especially in accessories too. Accessories, man, I had to do a long cleanse on my account because you got to make room. Imperium isn't giving us space, so you got to make room somehow. So go in there again. Same thing on accessories. What I like to do too, another thing I like to do is kind of eyeball test, right? Let's go ring and let's go attack, right? Let's go defense. Ring, I'm selecting defense as a main stat. Sorry guys, let me get down here. Defense is a main stat. I'm just picking rings. Let's just kind of do an eyeball test every so often. Do I have one faction where I have a ton of rings in one rarity? You know, because you don't need 100 attack rings, you know, or defense rings, especially on a non-9 piece, right? You don't need that many. So I'll go in here and I'll clean out a little bit. Oh, I got a rare one. I don't want rare accessories at this point in on my account. So again, that level's going to be different. And how do you know where you are? How do you know where your threshold is? Well, if you're at capacity, it means you probably need to bump your lower threshold up, right? So just graduate one rarity at a time, 1 5-star to 6-star, right? So another thing that you can do is I want to see every 5-star accessory that I have that is epic, rare, basically non-legendary, non-mythical right now. So again, every 5-star accessory that I own that is non-mythical, not legendary. And then I want to take a long, hard look at all of these. And I want to make sure I'm challenging myself to trash anything I don't think is absolutely imperative, especially everything that I don't think is imperative that is in a normal non-9-piece set. I'm trying to find any, but you can see I've done a good job for the most part, not leveling up, but I have done a good job cleaning house, right? There's nothing that's not part of a 9-piece. So that's what you can do on your account too. Now let's go to 6-star, right? And this is 6-star now. There's going to be a lot more, but again, I want to make sure I'm focusing on the, you know, the standard gear, right? These are all level 16 already, but honestly, I still want to sell them because we're at the point where, like I said earlier, I'm looking at mythical gear as standard gear, and then I'm looking at like epics and legendaries for pinpoint. That's kind of where I am on my account. But ideally, I'd like to graduate those epics even to legendary for pinpoint. I want to end with pinpoint or anything that can be like feral, very difficult to get gear. I already mentioned this, but I want to emphasize again, use your chaos ore or even save crappy gear until you get chaos ore in these very difficult to get sets. So again, let me give you an example here. It's so hard to get your hands on some of this gear. Merciless might not be hard, but stone skin, protection, especially accessories, very difficult and extremely valuable, right? So what do we want to do when we get a feral? Here we go. When I get a feral piece for lizardmen, for example, right? I mean, this amulet is nothing to write home about. I do have some accuracy, a little bit of crit damage defense. whatever, I'm pretty much keeping it because Feral's so hard to get and it's so good. And if I want to, I can rework. I probably wouldn't rework this amulet, but even banners, for example, right? So on Pinpoint, I had to start, farming it from scratch, right? So I had to make decisions like this originally. This is a rare banner. I just told you I don't like rare. I'm not collecting rares anymore.
We have a problem.
But it is accuracy and it does have speed. Now, there's no way I would keep this normally on my account, but it's the brand new set. And its accessories, really, really valuable, right? So in this rare situation, pun intended, I will, keep this, right? And same for like really crappy, I don't have any right now, but let's just say a really crappy 5-star epic piece, right? Let's just say this Pinpoint banner. Let's say it had a defense and then it was all like attack, no speed or anything on the banner. It was just a crap banner. Especially if it was like a rare or a 5-star rare, I would definitely be more inclined to keep it and use some less valuable chaos ore on it, right? Because again, you really want to save your chaos ore for these very hard to get artifact sets. And the way that I handle Pinpoint on my account is I started with a low threshold. Everything I told you, a microcosm of it, right? Next event dungeon, I'm probably gonna do the same thing. Go in there and start with accepting all rares that bring any decent substats. And then after a week or two of farming, go ahead and up the ante a little bit and trash some of those rares and keep your best epics. Kind of graduate towards the best, and hopefully you'll end with some quality legendary or mythical gear at the end of the day, depending on, again, where you are in your account. So man, I wanted this to be a 10-minute video. We're here at 20, 21, 22 minutes. Oops. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end it there. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Mostly, I want to Tony Robbins or motivate you guys to actually start putting some time and diligence into managing a very efficient artifact and accessory kind of load on your account. That way you'll have room and you'll have silver and you'll have better gear for all of your champions, allowing you to progress and enjoy more of the game. Thank you for watching all the way till the end. And as always, take care, guys.